My name is Michael Kessman. I'm the project engineer here in the city of Revere, and we're talking about sidewalk repairs. At this particular location, we were able to save this great oak tree. For any of you that are familiar with Mill Street, the roots on this tree had heaved the sidewalk up about 2 feet above that asphalt walkway right there. In order to complete this repair, we needed to remove the existing concrete sidewalk. We carefully cut back the tree roots so that we're able to get the new sidewalk back in place. And the goal in this type of a repair is to not only save the tree, but to make the sidewalk safe and passable again. And what you see here is a nearly completed sidewalk repair. At this location, an old tree existed that was actually unhealthy and needed to be removed. In order to remove the tree, we had to pull the stump. And as you can see, this resident has a nice little retaining wall, and their front yard and landscaping is right in this area. The contractor needs to be extremely careful while doing this type of work so as not to damage the wall and not to impact private property. And we work very closely with J. Marchese and Sons, whose operators are very experienced in this type of work and are very conscientious in terms of impact to private property and things of that nature while doing this kind of work. We'd like to walk you through the process of actually removing a tree, which can be very difficult in an urban environment such as Revere. The tree removal crews have to come with the bucket trucks and carefully trim the branches, starting at the top of the tree, working their way down, being extremely careful of the wires and different things that might be in the way. Once the crews trim the branches down to the trunk needs to be trimmed down to the base, and then we're ultimately left with a stump, and that stump needs to then be pulled with an excavator or a backhoe. As you can see, they're very large and the root growth is very extensive. When it comes to removing stumps of this nature, there's impact to the existing utilities in the ground. Sometimes the roots have grown around the water, sewer, and gas services. In those cases, we need to coordinate with the proper utility company, sometimes come out and actually cut and cap the utility services temporarily while the stumps are being removed, and reassemble all of that underground before we go and actually complete the sidewalk repairs. This can take up to an hour or two, depending on the size of the stump. So the stumps are actually pulled from the ground and you're left with the open excavation, which needs to be filled and then prepped for concrete. And here you can see crews actually installing the concrete. The concrete is delivered in a concrete truck and poured into the excavations that the crews have formed out. The concrete is then distributed around the area and leveled off and smoothed on top. When there's a nice smooth finish, the crews come back with a broom and give what we call a broom finish. And then they finish the joints and tool the joints and cut all the score marks, and you're ultimately left with a nice new concrete sidewalk.